Welcome to Press Coverage Podcast. We are back. It has been a while, but the boys are back. We're gonna talk a little. We're gonna talk a little off season, talk a little draft. You know, everything's still new, a little fresh. We're locked in. How you boys doing?
You know, I'm a little tired, but we're gonna get there.
Great.
Finals week coming up.
We're not gonna address Thomas. We're just gonna.
Yep.
I'm a little disappointed. I'm hiding my face. This conversation for me is not going to go great, so
Yeah.
I just want to sit in the.
Two teams in here I don't think did the best during the draft, but we'll get to all of them.
Who are these two teams? Yeah.
I love our draft.
Yeah, I think we did all right.
What's up
We'll
with
get
you?
there.
You want to talk Bears a little bit?
Yeah, I can talk Bears. So I pulled this up on my phone so I can remember everybody that we did
I
take.
have also pulled it up, so I'm
But
locked.
what I can tell you off the top of my head was our first round draft pick, Dylan Thieneman, safety out of Oregon. Now I was surprised that he fell to us. I originally thought Minnesota was going to take him, but I certainly thought he was going to go before pick 25 where we managed to get him. But I'm certainly glad that he fell down to us because if you watch the Bears defense last year, everybody loves to talk about the takeaways in the secondary, but the fact is we were getting burned left and right. I mean, we were
And we
slow.
lost pieces, right?
We lost Kevin Byard and Deshaun Wright, which
And Brisker and C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
yes, which
That's all of them.
Which- every single one of those guys, except maybe Brisker, was getting burned all the time. So I mean, we got Dylan Thieneman back there now, who's incredibly fast. Kobe Bryant, who we got from the Seahawks
Yeah.
in free agency. So those two will be
Rest in
great. And
peace.
then we got some other good secondary pick that I'll talk about in a little bit. But long story short, I like that we used our first rounder there. I think that the defensive line needs help, which I'll get to in a minute. But I think not getting burned in the secondary was just as big an issue that I don't think a lot of Bears fans are talking about. But our next pick was Logan Jones at center, which I think is a good pick. I think he was one of the better centers in the draft, and I think after Drew Dalman surprisingly retired, I think Logan Jones sits behind Garrett Bradbury for a year on that little one-year contract. We got him out of free agency. Learns, then he can be a long-term option. So I like that pick. Center's very important.
Linemen are always good. It's never
Yeah.
a bad time to get a lineman.
No, yeah, and I mean, you look at the way that the Bears were able to reshape their O-line in just 1 year. I trust that pick and what they see in him, and the fact that that he should be able to fit in with the guys. Here's where we get a little controversial in the Bears fandom. Sam Roosh at tight end out of Stanford. Now,
Feels like you're a little tight end heavy.
We
You have been for a while.
We did lose our tight end 3. I can't even remember his name anymore. He went to the Ravens.
Okay.
But Ben Johnson likes that likes the tight end
There's a lot of
personnel,
tight end motion in that offense.
and he
stuff.
loves a
Abuse
good
the pass
blocker.
rush.
And Sam Roosh
Or the pass
was
out run game.
perhaps one of, if not the best blocking tight ends in the draft, from
Yeah.
what a lot of people were saying. And so that pick, the D line, that's my overall thing. I think I really would have liked us to take more on the D line, but this pick I don't necessarily mind because I can see why Ben Johnson would go for that. However, Xavier Thomas at wide receiver, I don't think we needed that. I don't think he's a bad player. I think he can be good. I think he can be helpful, but I don't think that's what we needed. And so we'll wait and see. Maybe he breaks out, but
Late
yeah.
third. Sometimes you just start picking best player on the board.
yeah, that's true. Malik Muhammad at cornerback, don't mind that.
It's a fourth. You know.
It's a fourth.
It builds some depth.
Keyshawn Elliott at linebacker room needs depth, and then finally in round
What a
6,
What a name.
Jordan Vandenberg, defensive tackle out of Georgia Tech. Finally, we decided to put somebody on the line.
The last pick of the 6th
Ryan
round.
Poles he heard the chatter and he threw us a bone right there at the end. So, I hope this guy's a beast. I hope he comes to save us. But right now we got a motivated Deo on the line, and that's about it. So, overall, I think that the Bears drafted some great players, but I don't know if they were the players that we need. And so that's, again, gonna have to wait to see how the draft shapes up. And how these guys turn out. We also picked up a couple people in free agency afterwards. I don't The one name that I do know is the Vanilla Gorilla. I don't even know his real name.
In free agency?
Or in UDFA after the draft.
Yeah. In free agency, you got, Kobe Bryant, like we said.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing a lot else.
Yeah.
Who'd you lose?
We lost
Relinquish.
a lot of people.
Edmonds, Byer, Brisker, CJ Gardner-Johnson, Wright. Who else is this place? Duvernay. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that the hard part that a lot of Bears fans aren't going to want to hear is that a majority of those guys weren't very fast, and I think speed is just what this speed is. We need more speed than we had last year. They were ball hawks. There's no denying that, and I especially kind of wish we'd kept Byard as a culture guy and a leader, but the speed just wasn't there for Edmonds after he got his injury. Deshaun Wright never really had the speed. Kevin Byard's getting older. I really would have liked it if we'd have kept Brisker, especially the way he played in that Rams game towards the end of the year. I definitely think he could have been a part of the team, but he's in Pittsburgh now.
Steelers legend.
So
Legend.
you take good care of my brisket because I love
like
it.
a little brisket.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to drop my 2 cents in here for the Niners before y'all go to town on them. I'm going to town on them actually. It was I saw this reel of just Nick Bosa just being like, I need some help, man. And like our pass rush last season was atrocious. We had 6 less than the second worst team in the league, which is like the worst franchise ever, and that is the freaking Jets. 6 less sacks. Do you know how embarrassing that is? And we made it to the divisional round, or no,
what's it called?
NFC Championship?
No, you won 1 game.
No, yeah,
we made it a wild card.
Yeah, and this draft, what did we do? Absolutely nothing. We picked up an edge rusher, second pick, but that was about it. We traded back first of all, and then we just pick up a wide receiver. And yes, our wide receiver core might be a little bit shaky, but we have a quarterback who can put the ball in the right places, and we have a great head coach who's basically an offensive coordinator at this point.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, our pass rush is just the most abysmal thing ever, and I don't think we did anything to make it better. We picked up 1 edge.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Niners are an interesting team. Last year, it felt like there was a lot of teams that just out of nowhere won a lot of games.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll make the simple prediction. Those teams won't win as many games this year.
Yeah.
The Patriots won't win as many games.
Absolutely
The
not.
Broncos will lose 2-3 more games.
Yeah.
I think the Bears are probably still in that conversation.
Yeah.
Because you guys felt like a bit of a team of destiny at times.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that can fly forever. Because 2 years ago, you guys couldn't win a close game to save your life.
Nope.
This year, you won all of them. I'm assuming it's going to even out the year after.
Yeah.
So
Not to say we're bad or that any of these teams necessarily bad,
Yeah.
but the success might not be a success.
but there's a couple less wins. I think the Niners are similarly in that boat because it seems like you lost a lot of guys last year and you weren't expected to be that good, but you had a decently easy schedule, which your division ended up being way harder than anyone predicted. So it made the schedule a little worse or a little harder than we thought. But before the year started, you had statistically the easiest schedule. You played a lot of games that I don't know, just pretty light. But I think you'll lose a couple more games. I don't know if you guys are a playoff team this year.
Yeah.
It'll be definitely hard.
Especially with the NFC being the powerhouse.
Yeah.
The AFC is a bit light.
I don't know how many
Those boys
games
got the
we can
Cardinals.
eke out again. We beat the freaking Seahawks because of Nick Bosa, who basically is our whole defense.
Dude, Purdy threw up a prayer with no time left and it got answered, bro.
Yeah.
By a backup tight end.
Yeah. We got
that.
the Rams OT field goal winner. Just was a couple
They were an
out.
inch away from picking up 4th down.
Yeah.
Because then both those teams played you again and it was just
Not. It was belt to ass
oh my god.
in 2 minutes, and it was just kick return, the first play of the game. It's just you gotta be kidding me.
I was in Buffalo Wild Wings for that Week 18 game in Niners country with only Niners fans, and it was not a great atmosphere.
I would imagine. I put my head down and kind of just banged it on the desk for a little bit after watching that.
I mean, in 2 games, you guys scored 9 points. That's That's like pretty much as much
Fire
as
stats, bro. What are you talking
that's pretty much
about?
as much as like Rashid
Yeah.
Shaheed did in like 13 seconds.
Yeah, I just gotta put the coat of shame back on and keep my head down. You know,
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't have any delusions of grandeur this season. It might not be very pretty.
And I mean, we probably won't say a lot in your draft. It kind of felt you just kept trading down, and then when you
Yeah.
did draft guys, they just weren't the guy.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Sounds
It wasn't
familiar.
even
trading
Huh.
down.
No.
Yeah.
Let's rotate over.
Yeah.
I know.
So, all right. In free agency, we lost a lot of guys. Let's see. We lost our strong safety, Taylor Rapp. We lost Matt Milano, who was big. We lost Shaq Thompson. So we lost basically two of our vets. We lost
David Edwards.
a lot of secondary. We lost David Edwards. We lost another lineman who was a second string who looked kind of promising. And
But you got DJ Moore.
we got DJ Moore. We also got Bradley Chubb. We got CJ Garner Johnson from the Bears as well, and we got Geno Stone on
A decent amount of those guys you said, weirdly enough, just haven't signed anywhere.
Yeah.
So that there's
Yeah.
a chance like a Shaq Thompson or a Matt Milano comes back. 'Cause
That is true, but
they have like a Joey Bosa. If we're this deep into free agency and he hasn't gotten picked up, there's a chance he just comes back.
Yeah.
I don't think that's crazy.
there is a chance. But
The
I
only
mean,
ones
at
who
this
like
point, I
fully
don't-
lost are David Edwards, Mitch Trubisky, Reggie Gilliam, Cam Lewis, and Darnell Savage.
Yeah.
So those
So,
aren't big.
no, they're not
names.
huge. But I think our defense has holes anyway, and I think our draft kind of addressed them. I think, an edge rusher is definitely something we need for the future. We have Greg Rousseau, who's on, I think he's 24, 25. We got a few years out of him left. He's a stud. We just signed Bradley Chubb, who's old, and I think he fills a good spot where we have a veteran at edge rusher, and we bring in a guy like T.J. Parker, who was our first pick, who's an edge rusher, and kind of get him in that mix, being a rotational guy.
Yeah.
I don't hate that idea. I don't think it's what we needed most. I'm not necessarily mad about it, but I think for trading down so much, this is just a move that's kind of disappointing more than upsetting, I guess.
For sure. When you trade down, it feels like you have a guy in mind. When you trade back like 4 positions and you're like,
Yeah.
we can wait and get this guy.
Yeah.
And then when you do that like 3 times and then you just pick a guy that has no like oomph to him, you're like, what was the point?
Well, to be fair, I think T.J. Parker is a great. I've watched this film. I think he's an underrated edge rusher. I think he's a great edge rusher. I just think the issue is we don't need an edge rusher that badly
Yeah.
because we do have Greg Rousseau, who's young, and I guess this gives a bit of depth in rotation. But I don't know. That's not really our biggest weakness. I think our biggest holes, obviously, are our middle linebackers and a lot of our secondary, which are things we did address in the draft later. But I think we should have maybe prioritized those. There was a
Yeah.
few good corners and safeties open at a lot of our even higher draft picks, and we didn't pick those guys. It seemed like we were going for an edge rusher somewhere in this draft. I just not sure if the first pick was the right way to go for that.
Yeah, you
Now-
guys both seem similar to me where it's like you did fill the holes you were supposed to fill.
Yeah.
But it seems like the ones you chose to attack early weren't the bigger holes.
Yeah.
It seems like the
Yeah.
big holes weren't picked. Like
Yeah.
you guys should have got TJ Parker.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like you guys need an edge. You guys were up like one of
Yeah.
the worst pass rushing teams in the league
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
Like it's necessary. And then the lineman's good, but there's holes that need to be more filled, and they didn't get filled
Yeah.
till late. Because in my opinion, anything after the 3rd round is just depth. Those guys aren't real starters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're waiting until the 4th round, like the Bills here, to get your linebacker, this isn't a guy you truly expect to get minutes.
No, I think all the things we addressed where we got T.J. Parker round 2, pick number 35 overall, edge rusher.
Yep.
Okay, so we filled that hole. Then what else do we need? Well, we lost Taron Johnson, so I think cornerback or safety. We did get a cornerback in the 62nd pick overall, and we got David. I'm gonna butcher his name. I believe it's Igbenusin. I just call him Iggy. I don't know. That's what I heard it's called. But anyway,
That would be my
I
best guess.
do like this guy. I like him because he was down in the draft lower because people said that he got a lot of penalties. But looking at the statistics, he did have a lot of penalties. His like sophomore and junior years in college, but I believe the number went from like 13 to like 5 in his senior year. I believe he had like 5 total penalties in his senior year. So I mean, it seems like they fixed that problem, and therefore I see it as less of an issue in the future, hopefully. So I've watched some film from him. I like him. And then another pick that I actually really liked was Skylar Bell. I think he's an underrated wide receiver.
Oh yeah, I
think he adds a bit of depth to the receiver room. I think with DJ Moore picked up, obviously, I think we have that wide receiver one, and I'm liking our receiving core now. I mean, I think DJ Moore, Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman, Skylar Bell. I like those guys. I think that's a pretty decent receiver room, and I think it's the first time we've had a decent receiver room in a minute. So that's kind of something to look forward to. But
when I was doing mocks, I saw Skylar Bell going in the second like consistently.
Yeah, I'm surprised he dropped down to us, but I think it's a good thing.
He's really good for a fourth.
Yeah, I think he's a great pickup, especially in the 4th round. So I'm happy about it, even though wide receiver we already do have a decent trio. But I mean, especially if Keon Coleman doesn't end up working out and continues to play low. I mean, that's a good pickup. So I'm not terribly unhappy with our draft. I think it's like similar, like you said, to Brady. I think there are needs that we could have prioritized and we didn't. But overall, we did fill our holes, and I'm not unhappy with our draft. I do think we could have reordered stuff.
Listen,
but
Pookie Bear Kyle Manunga went in the 7th round.
That's so true.
and now he starts.
Because running backs are so undervalued.
So listen, man, that Jordan Vandenberg guy, he could come save us. I don't think he will, but he could. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Okay, we're rotating on to me.
Time for Pittsburgh.
Okay, I'll start with a little free agency. We did like pretty much everything on paper I wanted to do. I'm sad we lost Kenneth Gainwell, but we replaced him with Rico Dowdle. We got another corner. We got a depth D lineman, which is nice. We got a great safety in Brisker. You always like that. Another depth safety in Savage. I like that we went and got Pittman. I think obviously we needed a receiver. Everyone knew this, but Pittman, especially because we got him for nothing. We gave up like a 7th. We're paying him money, but like
Metcalf's gonna just punch
that's
people.
pretty easy.
He
didn't punch that guy. He made no contact with that fan, and I stand on that. He touched his dumb wig.
Yeah.
He didn't punch nobody.
Well, if he's gonna make questionable decisions like that, you might want another wide receiver.
But I was pretty happy. I feel like we got rid of the guys I wanted Calvin Austin to stay, but it seems like we've done what we needed at receiver. So I'm happy overall with the free agency. And then with the draft, I'll get the first thing out of the way. Obviously, the Cowboys put us in the cuck chair.
Yeah. There's
really no other way around it. They traded up to the pick before us to the guy we were drafting. But
yeah,
there's a silver lining to this. Mekhi Lemon is an insane man. And we are horrible at keeping insane receivers together. So I actually really like is it Jeremy Bernard that we got from Alabama in the 2nd round early on that we traded up for. I think I think he fits our scheme better. Lemon's a better receiver, but now that we have 2 6'4" receivers, I think we need a good slot guy, and he seems really good at that, and his rack is crazy. His highlights are almost like exclusively just after the catch. And every time I watch a highlight, the announcer is like, this guy has the best hands in the class. I've never seen him drop a football before.
Yeah.
So you love to see that. So we end up getting an O-tackle first round. I like it. There's like the 2 stereotypes for linemen, and it's like a Samoan and like a Republican white guy.
Yeah.
And we got
both.
Yeah. We got a Samoan man, and then we got my boy Jennings Dunker.
Oh, crazy looking dude.
6'5",
Hay Bale
320.
champion, by the way.
Oh my!
The day
gosh.
before the draft, not like in the past. He's waiting for the draft throwing hay bales.
I saw that.
What a
clip.
stud.
That was so fire.
6'5", 320, ginger mullet. Oh, real
Dude,
farm
the
boy.
hair alone makes it just like a great pick.
Yeah.
The hair, he's just gonna.
If on paper, the 2 personalities you want, we nailed. So you gotta love that. I, for a while, with my other friend Drake, who we'll maybe have on at some point, who's a Steeler fan, I was talking about our draft, and I said, I know how it's gonna start. We're going to get a guard in the 1st round, which I was a little off. We got a tackle. I said we're going to get a receiver, and then we're going to get Drew Aller, which is exactly what happened. We got a tackle receiver, Drew Aller. So, Drew Aller's an interesting one here. Dude, is Rodgers real? Who knows? Who knows, man? So, if it's between Mason, Will Howard, and Drew Aller. It's a fun battle to watch. Get me a ticket. Get me signed up.
That is
I'm a
truly,
Will Howard guy, but
That's truly a QB.
Yeah,
room
dude,
of all
you're
time.
looking
Drew
at
Aller is built to play football. Like,
Yeah,
his
What
intangibles are
his stats
there.
right now?
You can't. He didn't play that good, but like
yeah.
No, like
his height and
yeah,
stuff. He's
yeah.
6'5", 230.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you
He can
guys
throw
are,
the ball the furthest out of like any
Yeah.
quarterback in the class. Like, he does the things you can't teach. You can't teach a guy to be fast. You can't
Yeah.
teach a guy to be strong.
Yeah.
But like, his accuracy sucks. But Josh Allen couldn't hit a pass for 3 years, and now he's the best quarterback in the league.
Caleb
Right.
Williams is doing the same thing.
Yeah.
He's getting
He's
better.
gonna get better too.
Yeah.
So, he's a project quarterback.
Yeah.
you guys
You got
definitely
Raj
have
to
one of
teach
the
him.
top.
Maybe.
You got
Maybe.
crazy A.
So I don't dislike that. You know.
You definitely have one of the QBs in the class.
Yeah.
I think that's something we can say for sure. I mean, let's list off this
We-
QB room.
Did we draft the second? No.
Potential
Did we get the
QB
second
room.
receiver?
I don't know, but you got. Let's see. We got Aaron Rodgers.
Bro,
No, we got
under
the third.
A-Rod,
We
bro,
got the
under
third.
A-Rod, he's gonna just take drug-induced
If A-Rod's
trips
even
over,
there.
over the
We got
offseason,
A-Rod,
bro.
we got
He's just gonna
Ayahuasca
teach
Aaron.
him how to take
Okay.
drug
All
trips.
right, so
bro.
Ayahuasca
Let me add real
Aaron.
quick on Aaron Rodgers. Today we put. I don't even know how to
Is
describe
this not like
We
the
put a-
this. He goes on psychedelics and like locks himself in a
No,
room?
we put a tag on him
Yeah.
today. I'm not exactly sure what it means. It was very confusing when I read it, but like we put like we get to offer him like 10% better than anyone else offers, and we put that tag on him today.
Mhm.
So clearly we still think something about him, or we wouldn't be doing that. So
Yeah.
he definitely might be coming. He might not.
I
but
mean, you
continue.
got a QB room full of pretty young guys. You got Drew Aller, you got Will Howard. I think having an old guy. I didn't say his
I don't know.
name.
I loved him
I've
in
heard
that
a
Bears
lot
game.
about him
I thought
from
he
you.
was
Even though he did
I'll-
save
I'll-
Christmas.
Yeah, bro. 130 yards, 20 of them in the air,
Yeah, fair.
something like that. Those aren't the exact numbers, but I
I've
think
heard a lot
85% of
about
his
him.
passing yards were after the catch.
Yeah.
So
I
I
think-
could have done that.
I think you like having a veteran guy. I mean, kind of a weird one because your guy is Aaron Rodgers, who's one of the best quarterbacks of all time, but
Very
also
smart, but
he's
insane.
Aaron Rodgers, who's also an insane person. So it's kind of like a give and
Drug-induced
take.
trips,
But
I'm telling you, bro.
No, isn't that- I
goes
mean,
on fantasy
well,
land trips throughout
apparently,
the
yeah, that's an
offseason.
actual thing. I was hearing about how apparently he just takes a bunch of drugs like psychedelics
But also
and
Perk
then locks
Rogers during the
himself in a
season.
room for a
Yeah, his
month.
ayahuasca things.
Yeah.
These are documented.
No, I know. Which
But
is
also
crazy.
Perk Rogers during the season.
I mean,
we
yeah.
can't,
Money.
we can't forget Perk Rogers during the
What was
season.
wrong? Money. Ooh, so sorry, Brady.
Guess it was, but hey,
Hey,
Continuing on, we got a corner in the third round also who, I don't know. From what I've heard, he dropped and he just should be better. I was watching his highlights because I hadn't really heard of him because I don't watch a ton of college ball. And there was a game against Texas where he had, I think, 3 interceptions and a forced fumble, which is crazy. I was like, I've never seen a game like that from a corner. We got Dunker. We got Wet Jen, who is a white returner, and he was the best return man in like college history. He is the greatest return PFF grade ever, which I think PFF's a little BS. I've talked about it before.
let's get to the real pick. Where is he? Where's the Navy man?
Oh,
Oh,
we're talking about Eli Hendrich.
oh,
Dude,
yeah.
he's really cool.
yeah.
He's got like the exact same like physical stats as like Christian McCaffrey out of the draft. He plays a similar position. He's
Do
listed
not
as a running
mention
back.
him and
but he
TMC
plays
in the same
receiver.
conversation
He's a
ever.
white guy. He's from the Navy. There's special rules this year where he's now allowed to like
Defer
pause
yeah.
his thing to come play NFL, which is really cool. We also picked up his fullback teammate after the draft. But I think he's really cool. And he's a Pittsburgh boy. He's from town. You know, you gotta love that. We lost our fullback guy that we kind of used, so we replaced him. I don't hate that. D tackle and safety are like, the safety we picked up is really fast. I think. I don't know if he's that good, but he has like, at the end of the draft, you pick a certain thing you think is important, and then you kind of just hammer that. You're
Yeah.
like, I would like a tall, fast safety. So you just look for the tallest, fastest one left, not the best one, and you
Yeah.
try to,
Yeah.
mold him into something. So overall, I think we did a lot of like personality drafting, but this draft seems really fun to me.
It does.
I don't know if it'll all work out on paper, but these guys all seem awesome.
I know you
The only-
shit on my Niners a lot, but I genuinely like this draft from you guys, and I'm curious to see how it works out.
The only
It seems
pick I
fun.
don't like from you guys is the corner. Because why'd you draft the
Our
corner?
corner room's really stacked, but that's also depending on like what we plan on doing with Ramsey. because we made him play safety last year, but that's also because we started running out of safeties. Because Deshaun Elliott tore his ACL, but he's back, and we got Brisker and Savage. But at corner, we got Joey Porter Jr., best corner in the league. I stand on that. Best corner in the league. Look at any stat. He is that guy. If you start talking to me about damn penalties, I know you don't watch no football. We got Ramsey, obviously. We got Asante Samuel Jr. We also picked up Jamal Dean in the offseason. Like, that's maybe the best corner room in the league. Like, I really don't know how we improve it. So, another guy it's interesting. But also, I heard he was supposed to go, like, upper second, and he was there at the late third. And you just...
fair.
Sometimes you see enough of a reach. It's less like we need him and more like it can't hurt to have a guy this good in this position.
Fair.
So overall, I'm a happy guy. I think we did our offseason right. It all comes down to Aaron Rodgers. I've been seeing a lot of mock drafts, or not mock drafts, like power rankings putting us like 7th. But I just think that's because no one knows what our quarterback is at the moment.
Yeah.
Because on paper, I don't see a hole in our roster.
No.
Quarterback.
Yeah, it's just quarterbacks.
Yeah.
It's just, and that doesn't, we don't know anything about our quarterbacks play yet. They both might be good. We don't know. Will Howard won a national championship last time he played football, and he just spent a year under maybe the smartest man to ever touch a football.
Oh.
You know, like, the things are there for him to be good. There's really no reason he can't be. Okay. I wanted to pull this up. I've been, in my free time, trying to figure out a stat that I created, because I've been really curious, because a lot of Steeler players I noticed go to a team and they happen to have like a really good game against that team. Like, for example, Calvin Austin had like a 80-yard kick punt return touchdown and then like another touchdown and like 70 yards against the Giants, and then the Giants picked him up, and I'm like, that's Calvin Austin's best game of his career.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm curious, how often do teams that are like pick a guy that played really good against them? So I tried to research this. It's not the easiest thing to research because no one really has these stats down anywhere.
Yeah.
EDU, big guy.
That's right. But so I decided I was just gonna go track this all myself. I don't have it enough. But I went through every team and I looked at each player specifically against that roster and determined if they had a good game compared to like their average stats. So if it's a guy that like averages like 20 yards a game at receiver and he's not very good, but he has a game that's 80 yards against the Raiders and then gets picked up by the Raiders, that's a hit. And what I determined was about 22% of the time a player played good against that team, he ends up getting picked up by that team. And then also about 9.5% of the time that people get picked up within their same division, which I think is like statistically random, so that part didn't really matter. But I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
That players that played good against, like, if you, as a coach, you watch a guy play good, you see him in free agency and you're like, I don't like that kid. I remember when he played pretty good against us.
And we don't want that
And
to
it's
happen
more
again.
common of a thing than you think. Because I always see in, like, the offseason, they're, like, predicting, like, oh, this free agent's going to go to that team, and this guy's going to go to that team.
Yeah.
But, you might want to start looking into, like, have they played good against that team? Because, like, that's, 22% or whatever. That's pretty high. I've only done this draft class. There was, like, 200, or not draft class, like this free agency. There was about 250 people. So, it's not, like, a giant sample size. It took a lot of work, especially because all the websites wanted me to pay money, and I refused to do that. So I was allowed to do like 10 people, and then I would switch to a different Google account, which, took a while.
Yeah.
But I thought that was a pretty interesting little stat I wanted to bring up and let the
It's
people know.
interesting.
There is one more off-season move that the Bills made that I think is going to change our team from very bad to championship team, and it is the addition
No chance.
of the one, the only Trace McSorley to our coaching
Throw
staff.
it on a dime,
Like I ain't even trying.
Okay.
I actually, I don't know. I find that really funny, but we added Trace McSorley as an offensive assistant, and I really liked
Did
it.
we determine if he's younger or older than Josh Allen?
He's 1 year older.
Oh
a year
my
older.
God.
As a
See,
quarterback
Josh Allen's
coach.
29, and
Wait,
Trace
Josh
McSorley-
Allen's only
I'm
29?
not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's only
2018 draft class?
Yeah, 29. He's 29, and Trace McSorley's 30.
Damn, bro, I've been so checked out. He's 29?
He's young.
Do you think he was older or younger?
older. I thought he was like mid, or no, not mid 30s, but like low 30s.
A quarterback doesn't peak until like 33.
Yeah.
I know that's not all of them, but it seems like the greats play their best years of football in their mid 30s.
Yeah.
The average guy doesn't make it there, but like
When
Dude,
they
I
do,
mean,
they're the
Tom Brady's best season ever, I think, was on the Bucks.
yeah.
I think it's crazy to say, especially because he went, 16-0. But like
But,
that,
yeah. You look at what
that one he
Stafford's doing
didn't
now,
win
yeah.
MVP to Aaron Rodgers. That year, I think is statistically his best season he's ever
Yeah.
had. But Aaron Rodgers also putting up crazy numbers at like the same. age.
Rodgers is, Stafford's doing now.
Yeah.
We'll see if Josh Allen can follow. We'll
Speaking
see if
of-
he truly is a great.
I mean, I don't think he's at that. I mean, no, you got to win a ring to be at that level. We can't win a ring to save our lives, so we'll see.
Join the club. Not join the club, but
5 rings.
yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Speaking
recent
of
history.
Matt Stafford,
Yeah,
let's just
recent
look at the
history.
draft overall. What do you
Yeah.
think of like a pick like Ty Simpson?
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
either.
I don't know. People were complaining so much about this Ty Simpson pick, but
We're
I
in
honestly
Rams
don't hate it.
area, so I think that means
Yeah.
something.
I guess so. But Matthews, how old is Stafford?
Oh, he was the QB that got picked up, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
12.
I think give
I don't
him
know.
at least one more year without drafting a QB.
I guess so, but
That's also right. He's
Because-
38.
Yeah.
oh, Stafford's 38. Okay,
But he
so
just
he's
won
got-
MVP, so like, and
I agree
You gotta
that he
remember
has.
Megatron retired in like 2016.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Okay, I
I'm
remember.
just saying, give him one more year before you like.
I'm not
think
saying
about-
don't give him any years.
Here's the
I just
thing.
think it's good
Yeah.
to get a guy who is pretty decent, and I don't know, get him in there. If he can learn something from a guy like Stafford and kind of develop with him,
But are
Here's
they
the-
gonna keep
that's
him
good.
for 3 years?
Here-
I
the
don't
thing,
know, but it's
Yeah, you get 5 years, or you get 4
Yeah.
years out of a rookie.
it's not a
first
terrible. Like I don't
round.
think it's a terrible pick. Matthew Stafford has to retire at some point.
He's
here's
also
the-
one hit away from being done.
Yeah,
Yes.
like I don't.
And
like,
here's the
I don't
thing,
think it's
too.
that crazy.
Is they're still good, and in my opinion, the Rams are still looking for one more Super Bowl with
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
Stafford.
looking good.
And if they
Stafford's
get
still looking
if
good.
they get there, that you are going to be at the bottom of the draft, and so you never know when you're going to have this kind of a chance to get a quarterback of Ty Simpson's caliber this high in the draft with Super Bowl aspirations. And so I get why some people are upset, but I think that strategically it was a smart move.
Yeah,
And
agree.
I think Stafford retires if he wins a ring in the next
Yeah.
year or two. I don't. Yeah, so I like, and then you're going to be bottom of the draft. So picking up this, I don't hate it now. But if they don't win, then it's kind of just like.
I don't know, because I think
It
some
just
people,
really
for some
depends.
reason, thought it was like, Matt Stafford, step out of the way, Ty Simpson's here, but that's just not what it is.
No.
They're still, like, he's still the guy. I don't know
Hold on.
what.
Hey Lamar,
Hey,
we're
Lamar.
good. Diego Pavia is here.
Oh, God, can we talk about that? Diego
Really quick, let me
Pavia,
get my
yeah.
thing on Ty
Yeah,
Simpson.
You go.
I mean, almost all the best quarterbacks spent years behind a guy, so I don't think
Yeah.
I don't know why we're acting like this is some new thing we've never seen before. And I also heard a lot of Rams fans saying we were one piece away from winning the Super Bowl. I don't think that's right. I think you were a better team, the Seahawks,
Mhm.
and you played 2 better games than them, but they played a better third game, and that was the one
Yeah.
that truly mattered. Because you guys should have won the second one. I mean,
Yeah.
a backwards fumble into the end zone for a 2-point.
That was insane.
and
That's so
like a
crazy.
Hail Mary pretty much type play in overtime. I mean, that's rough. You played a
Yeah.
better football game. I think the Rams are a better team. So it's not like they were one piece away. The Super Bowl was Rams-Eagles. I
Yeah.
know there was another game after, but
Rams,
we all
Seahawks.
agree. Yeah, sorry. That's what I meant. Rams-Seahawks was the best game. Like, those
Yeah.
are the 2 best teams, and they played
Oh,
each
yeah.
other. Right? So they pretty much played in a Super Bowl, and they just barely lost it. So you can't be like, oh, they were a piece
Yeah.
away. They were just as good, if not better.
Yeah.
So I like this, especially, he's one hit away. If they win a Super Bowl, they're not going to have good picks. There's a lot of things not going for them, but it was here now. So I don't hate this at all. Mendoza,
Obvious.
Gets
Good.
to sit with the
you
big
can't
perk,
hit,
you know.
can't hit Mendoza.
Raiders are looking decent except for their receiving core.
We talked about Love a little bit, but I think it's easier to build a good running back and then just kind of use him a lot than it is to build a
Yeah.
whole offense.
That's true.
Because they are so far from everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if you get a receiver, like, what's he going to do, bro?
I
Catch
don't know.
passes from
There are
Carson
so
Beck, that's
many
what-
holes.
No,
in the
my boy
Cardinals
Gardner
offense.
Minshew over there.
Ah, right. My bad.
He's
bad.
living in
Yep.
his man. Carnell Tate, decent.
He's in, where is he, the Browns?
He went to Titans.
Oh, Titans.
That was the first big shake of the draft.
Yeah,
I'm
and then
low-key happy for Cam Ward. At least he has one real person to throw the ball to, other than
I think
Calvin
Cam Ward will
Ridley.
get better. I think he was
Yeah.
in like the worst situation
I
possible.
think-
I
But
thi-
I
that's
think
how first
Cam-
round picks work.
I think
Yeah.
Cam Ward, for what he was given, did I mean, he made cool plays and did something to be.
Yeah.
I mean, what is he working with? Absolutely not.
I think he was the most
He
sacked
did
quarterback
work,
last
yeah.
year.
He was, but
yeah.
Somehow it wasn't Justin Herbert.
that's what Caleb Williams was his first year.
I
And
think
then,
he also had
yeah.
the receivers with the least statistical separation. So
Yeah.
like
Oh.
no one's open. It's not like he's
Yeah.
missing passes. Just no one's
no
open.
one's open.
I thought Arvell Reese was an interesting pick from
That was interesting.
Yeah.
because
They said
we were
they're
trying
gonna
to
use
think.
him differently though.
we were trying to think because the Giants are the second highest paid defense. I don't know if that's true after Dexter Lawrence anymore, but the point I'm making stands. We were trying to think who on that defense, right? Who are their best guys? And we basically said like their edge rushers, you know?
Yeah.
Abdul Carter's a beast. Brian Burns is a beast. Kayvon Thibodeau's a great rotational guy.
Mhm.
And then they drafted a linebacker that rushes at 5 overall. Which I heard they're
Oh.
trying to move him more middle, but like
I don't
their
know.
middle's pretty good
Yeah.
too. Like I get this guy's really, really good,
Yeah.
and it never hurts to have a guy like this on the team. But this just doesn't feel like the position that was needed.
Yeah, no, I would agree.
Because they have what, Okereke? I think they got Edmonds from you guys.
Yeah,
They also have McFadden. Like their middle linebackers are a good room.
Yeah.
It's not like they need him there. They don't really need him off the edge. I don't really understand how they plan on using the guy. And I get they're saying he's Swiss Army. He could play everything. He could do both, which, you know, he's awesome at football. But it feels like a weird pick to me.
Yeah. I don't know. I agree. It is a weird pick, but if they are going to use him Swiss Army, this is the best guy to do it with. Because, I mean, he's just kind of an athletic freak.
Yeah, I think if you're going to go, like, middle linebacker, I think you just go Tony Styles.
yeah.
I feel like he's just better at that position specifically. Not a better
Yeah.
player, but, like,
As-
similar
yeah,
caliber player,
yeah,
better at what you're going to use
better
him
at
for.
middle. Yeah.
That, yeah. And then getting the tackle at the 10, who has a bunch of back issues. I've heard not great things about this guy, especially with that being a trade for Sexy Dexy.
Yeah.
It's an interesting one.
Yeah.
And Caleb Downs is right there.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they didn't get Caleb Downs. I'm pissed because they didn't get Caleb Downs. Now the Cowboys, who
I hate the
not
Cowboys.
the biggest fan of,
No. It's
because we
hate.
have an annoying friend named Chief who loves the Cowboys and will glaze them no matter what, even if it's not correct. I'm just kidding. But
It's never correct.
I'm joking.
Best
But,
team in the league, man.
but Caleb Downs is a really
better than Matt
good pick. I think the Cowboys drafted crazy, which is upsetting, but they did draft really well.
You know, and I'll
And
also
they're
get my
still
flowers.
gonna be trash.
I'll also get my flowers over here. I think the Browns kind of killed the draft.
They did. They did very
Oh,
well.
But-
I love the Browns draft.
I saw
I
a
really
video.
like Spencer Fanu. I'm
Yeah.
sad they got him, but I like him a lot.
I saw a video that was like rating like the draft picks, and they got like a C plus, and the Browns were like, "Hey, why a C plus?" And the guy just said Browns tax, and I think that
Yeah.
I think that's pretty
Browns
funny.
tax.
Browns tax. I also liked when it showed their needs, and it was every position but edge, and someone's just like, "So they have Myles Garrett, and that's it."
Yes.
I think that's a pretty funny one.
Not wrong.
Speaking of Myles Garrett, I saw a clip today that made me laugh where he said he'd trade both of his depoys for a ring. I just thought that one was funny because he passed up on a championship caliber team to stay on the Browns for more money. But hey,
Yeah, you know, poor Myles Garrett, man.
Oh,
His life real sucks, and
Yeah.
it's not his fault, obviously.
well, I'm
It
Myles
could
Garrett,
never
and
be
I'm
his
dating
fault.
Chloe Kim, and I play in the NFL. Ooh.
Who's
Ooh,
Chloe Kim?
uh,
Olympian.
Olympics snowboarder.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
that's tough.
Olympic over snowboarding.
I make $40 million a year.
Boo hoo.
Boo.
Quit
Ooh.
power
I broke the
lowest.
sack record. by
I'll
being
take-
annoying.
Boo-hoo.
I'll take
TJ
over if
Watt
you
should
want.
broke the
Yeah.
sack
I'll go
record.
play edge for Cleveland.
Pass the control if you don't want to play, bro.
I'd love to play
Is
it.
there any other cool ones we want to look
I
at in
couldn't
this
play
draft? Ooh, okay. My sleeper pick, Zane Fry's sleeper pick of the draft. My boy Jacob Rodriguez. I know he had
Oh,
Heisman
okay.
votes at
Mm.
Texas Tech. I watched like a lot of film of like guys I thought the Steelers could get in positions, and I didn't have more fun watching anyone's film than him, bro. It's so fun. First of all, you know, white guy with the mustache. I guess not white. He's
Yeah.
Mexican, but he looks white.
Can't go
A
wrong.
little bit of mullet action. Dude, he's so cool. He made a bunch of just, I don't know how to explain it, but his film is so fun to watch. So, you know, props on the Dolphins for getting him. I think he'll be a stud.
I'm mad the
Yeah.
Dolphins got him.
Because middle linebackers aren't considered
I
like,
thought we were gonna get him.
yeah, I wanted to, but we wanted that receiver. We traded up for him. We were pretty confident in that
Yeah.
one. But like, linebackers just aren't worth, like, they're not valued that high, so they don't like talk about, like, they're not thinking about a guy. That's why he drops his second round, but like, he's like that, man. He really is. Anyone else I care about in these later rounds? Oh, I like AJ Terrell's brother, who's a corner, also going to the Falcons. I think that's a
Yeah.
cool
Cool.
pickup.
That was cool.
Yeah. I was gonna say which teams do we think mess up the draft the most, but I kind of just feel like it's the Niners.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jags.
Jags?
I'm gonna put my.
The Jags.
I'm
Look
trying
at
to
the
think of what
Jags
the Jags
draft.
got. Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm
My
pulling it
math,
up.
my shout out my math teacher. He's a
I hate
Jags
Trevor
fan.
Lawrence.
He was talking today
Not a
about how
happy
much
man?
the Jags messed
Not a
up
happy
the
camper.
draft. No, he was unhappy. They were
Tight
fourth
end in the
picks.
second round, D tackle, guard.
I think that's what they were most mad about. Is
Is
that
it
they
tight
drafted
end?
a tight end in the second round.
Tight end is so interesting because the 13th ranked tight end in the second round.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, I don't trust their rankings for anything, but like, that seems like a reach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see any of these names while looking at things, so I don't know any of these guys. Yeah, they might be bad. They also like. I did think I saw a video, and they did the same thing like you two did, where it's like you filled the positions, but not in the order that made sense.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like it's a bit worse because that guy is not even that like.
Who's their starting running back now?
Who was it before?
Travis
Travis
Etienne.
Etienne.
Oh, that's right. He was.
Who? Wait, where did Travis Etienne go?
It wasn't the Chiefs.
No. that's good.
Is it the Titans?
It might be.
Ooh, my boy
Oh.
Robert Saleh is gonna have a fun offense next year.
No, he went to the Saints.
Saints. That's
Oh.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like the Saints are actually
The
picking up.
Saints?
The Saints picked up our
Really?
our
The
guard,
Saints?
David Edwards too.
Their
Saints are
starting
still
running back is
everyone.
probably Chris Rodriguez with backup DJ Dallas.
I don't know
So,
who DJ Dallas is, but
he was a Seahawks guy for years. He's one of the names you know, but he's not like a guy who does anything. Yeah, this is a sorry running back room.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, running back isn't that important, but if your guy can't run at all, there's an issue.
Yeah.
Like, I think having a bottom 5 running back in the league's an issue, but having, like, you know, anywhere from, like, 28 to, like, 15 is the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, you're not really going to get any difference out of those guys. They're going to produce the same amount.
Yeah.
They're all going to get right around 1,000 yards on the similar touches. They're all going to average, like, 4 yards a carry. They're all the same guy.
yeah.
But, do we have anything else?
No.
Diego
That's it.
Pavia to the Ravens.
Yeah.
Uh,
Didn't he only get drafted because he just kind of...
Oh, he didn't even get drafted.
Or did he
He got
picked-
invited
he
to
didn't
minicamp
get drafted.
and then signed.
He kind of just like he just kind of like baby Shadured it,
Yeah. Pretty much.
which you know, if
Lamar World good.
well, no,
Shadur,
he did say don't take me if you don't want to have a starter. So I do think that means that Diego Pavia will of course be starting for the Ravens in the 2026 season.
I see no other conclusion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really is the only one. I don't know. I don't think you see a guy like Shadur do what he did last year and think, let me imitate that. He seems like he's on the right track.
That's
Yeah.
just not a pass.
Also, I think the Ravens kind of nailed the draft too. So
Yeah, they did. They did pretty well. So
They got the
so
I'm
guard.
gonna
I-
be a Steelers
I'll
fan.
give him a pass.
They
for
got the
that
guard I
pick.
wanted.
Yeah.
They got a good edge.
Did the
guy.
Bengals at least mess it up, or did they do alright too?
I heard they messed it up, but
Oh,
I haven't really
well,
seen.
that's one positive.
They got an edge early, or they got an edge in the second to replace
Yeah.
Trey Hendrickson.
Where did Trey Hendrickson go?
He went to the Ravens.
Ravens,
Oh, that's right.
because they got Max Crosby, and then
sent
they-
him back.
they realized Trey
Yeah.
Henderson was really cheap, so they found a way to get out of there and just get
Yeah.
Trey Henderson
Ooh,
instead.
the locker room
Yeah.
at the Raiders is gonna be a little.
Dude, that
Little
screwed the
bit
Raiders too, because
yeah.
they spent so much money in free agency just to like be told like, hey, no, you just
Crosby's
lost
going
40 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like most people in NFC North did all right. The only thing is the Vikings' first round pick, Caleb Banks or whatever his name is. I think he's just a bit too injury prone to be reliable. But he's a big dude,
They should have picked up another.
good player.
quarterback.
But he played 3 games
They
last
should
season.
have picked up another
so.
QB.
Who? No, they got
The Vikings.
they got Kyler Murray. They're good.
Did they get Kyler? God, I wanted Kyler. I love Kyler. Speaking of the Raiders, because we were just on them, did they kind of? I mean, they lost all their money with Crosby, which screwed them. But like, they kind of had the best free agency in my opinion.
They did.
I agree.
Linderbaum, Quiddy Payne, Quay Walker, N'Kobe
Yeah.
Dean, re-signing Eric Stokes, bringing in Kirk Cousins from Mendoza.
Yeah.
There you go.
Like I like all of this.
That's
How they
all-
do in the
Yeah.
draft? I didn't really hear about their draft other than Mendoza.
Yeah, I didn't.
That was
Really?
kind of all
Because
anyone
they-
cared about in the
They
draft.
drafted.
Yeah.
I think
They got the guy
drafted
and nothing
good.
else mattered.
They drafted good in there too.
They got a safety, which was not one of their needs in the second. Got an edge. in
Who
the
who was
third.
the safety?
Traden Stooks?
Huh.
From Arizona.
If I remember, there was a guy who fell. I was wondering if it was him, but I'm not sure.
I don't know enough to say if they did good or not in here.
I know.
I don't watch a lot of college, so I did a bunch of mock drafts for teams I thought were interesting, and then I watched film on like the 4 guys I was thinking about each round.
They got. All I know is they got Jermon McCoy in the 4th, who fell insanely low.
Yeah,
I don't know why Jermon McCoy fell so low, but he fell really low, and I guess the Raiders got him. I mean, on paper, that's a steal.
He's position rank 2 in the 4th round, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know if position rank really means anything because who's ranking in what